You're watching Newzroom AM. Let's pick up on this now. The Johannesburg Labour Youth Centre has been launched. Young people already testing the efficiency of the system. Well, let's get yet another update from our colleague Ziniko Mhlaba, who's in downtown Johannesburg. Ziniko, good morning to you. You've had a chance to talk to young people who are familiarizing themselves with the system and basically them wanting to put through their CVs so that they can potentially get jobs. Are they optimistic?
They are optimistic, Ole. Well, it's going to be a matter of accessibility for young people because this particular centre is in the Johannesburg CBD. And of course, if you think of the nearby townships such as Soweto, such as Alexander, such as Vosloorus from the east, but also Kagiso, it's a 20-minute public transport drive to get to this city. So, and of course, if you think of the taxi fares, an average taxi fare between Soweto and Johannesburg is around 15 to 20 rand. So it's going to be an issue of cost, but also being able to come and access this particular point. But for those young people who are residing in and around the city center, you can just walk in. It's not far actually from the infamous Gandhi Square, which is on my right, and I think it's just a kilometer away from me. But also if you're coming from the other side, from the south, you'll have to get off at Sour Street, or what is called now Sour Street, or at Bree, and you can be able to walk here. If you're coming from the east, you can get off at the North Taxi Rank, or what is famous known as the MTN Taxi Rank, so that you're able to walk for about 15 minutes to get this particular point. So it's very accessible once you are in the city in Johannesburg. But you're coming from the township, we have to make sure that you budget at least about 50 rands for a return fare to come get here. But let's talk about the issue now. Whether young people in township, the picture is as gloomy as we think, as gloomy as it's been made, such as young people are not qualified, young people do not have the necessary experience. And of course, to take us through those insights, I've got to let you from Youth Capital. You deal a lot with young people, especially when it comes to their skills, their capacity, the job requirements that employers are looking for. What's the sense that you're getting from young people? Do you think the picture is as gloomy as we make it maybe sometime?
So as Youth Capital, as a campaign, what we know is that experience is an important aspect for a young person. And young people have shared with us that employers consistently say they need experience, but also we know that there are public employment programs. So our hope is that centers such as these will connect young people to programs like the Basic Education Employment Initiative, where young people can gain the experience that they need. So there needs to be, dots that need to be connected. So this job center needs to connect to existing programs by the government to ensure that young people are able to know about the opportunities, gain the experience, and then be able to access future opportunities.
I mean, talk to us about the challenges of the affordability of these opportunities. I said in my intro that it takes maybe a young person 20 minutes to come to the city centre, and that's if you are coming from the surrounding townships. That people are staying in the Val, that's like 45 minutes drive. So what information have you gathered from them as far as being able to go and seek opportunities such as this one?
So transport is a big factor when we're talking about young people being able to access opportunities. And we must be mindful that most young people come from households where there isn't an employed adult. So oftentimes, the young person has to loan money in order for them to then have money to catch a taxi. So it's the burden of them not having disposable funds at home to travel to come to centers such as these, and because of that they then have to then loan from neighbors, from family members, and that's an additional burden that young people face, and they don't have to actually face that burden. So it is our hope that initiatives such as these take into consideration the holistic support that young people need for them to access opportunities.
Okay, so talk to us about, from your experience, are the government opportunities working? Are they accessible? We are being told that you can apply online, can go to any government center and apply, but the output, are people getting the jobs that are being promised, the jobs that they're applying for at centers such as this one? Is that realistic? Is that happening? What is the success rate from your understanding?
I mean, we know that in order for them to be sufficient jobs, the economy needs to grow. And we've seen and we've constantly heard that the economy is not growing at the rate that it needs to grow. So we know that there are not enough jobs. So as much as these centers do exist, jobs still need to be created. The economy still needs to be stimulated.
Thank you very much, Letty. We'll catch up with you later on. Speaking to us about the realities young people are faced with, especially when it comes to issues of affordability, but also giving us a sense of the importance of these centers in terms of connecting young people with job opportunities. Only that's it for now.
Thank you very much, Ziniko Mhlaba, live for us in downtown Johannesburg, and important initiative indeed. All right.